Hey everyone, I'm Kim and I'm a small organic farmer, off grid farmer. We've been off grid for 11 years now. Um, Here's some of my goats since we're walking by them. But that's a little bit of what I want to talk about. Our farm's going through a huge change. Sorry, I'm listening. Something's hopping through the woods or running through the woods. Um, huge change. And we've kind of come through 60. You hear before you start, or we started doing all of this, you always hear, you have to grow and raise your own food. Um, Sustainability gets thrown out a lot. Oh, be sustainable, be sustainable. Over the years, and I've been struggling with this for at least the last 3 years, I really don't think meat and dairy is sustainable. I don't see how it is. And if it's not sustainable on a really small scale, like I have, then I don't know how big farmers are doing it. Even the ones that are doing it sustainably, that are pasture rotating, because I've done quite a few, just not peer reviewed or anything, just some small studies, experiments on the farm, and I don't know, I don't, I don't see how anyone's doing it. So let's do it for instance. For instance, my goats. We have dairy goats. And to get dairy, they are on pasture all day long. We put them up at night because they're babies. Actually, if it's nice out, I leave them out. But they get pasture rotated, and each section is a half acre. Plenty of pasture. They still need grain. They still need hay. They still need minerals. And still not getting milk, y'all. So, feed for the goats. What I spent on literally, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and eight goats. $100 a week in feed for eight goats. I did have a lot more. It sold off about half. Um, and no milk. Why you say no milk? Why? Because I don't feel like pulling the babies. Normally, the only way to get milk is you got to pull babies after 2 days. Then you got to buy those babies milk replacer. Those babies, if you're going to actually get milk replacer and just not whole milk at the grocery store, milk replacers $30, $40 a bag. That'll last you a week. So there adds to your feed bill just so you can have more milk. So I'm spending $100 a week for milk. And I'm not even getting milk. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And you can co-share. You can co-share. Um, but it doesn't work as good on goats. Maybe if you had cows, but also with cows, to keep a cow in that much milk, Lord have mercy. So much grain, so much hay, so much water. Because we had cows, only two Jerseys. It's like, no, oh no, honey, no. Mm-mm. We don't have enough land for this. There's no way this will work. Um, right now, between the goats and the chickens, we're spending $150 a week on feed for eggs and no milk because I still have the babies on. So, that being said, the last 2 weeks, we're going vegan. Um, I know homesteading, and I'm not telling anybody how to homestead because I think the beauty of homesteading is that it's land and it's a blank canvas, kind of. It can be whatever you want it to be. You truly can. So, if you don't mind spending that kind of money on feed, then hey, that's your prerogative. I have done it for years, so I'm in no place to pass judgment on it. Um, like the chickens, we're spending $50 a week in feed for the chickens. For eggs, $50 a week in feed. And we sell some eggs, $5 a dozen. We don't even eat most of them, we just sell them now. But it just, no, I don't think it's worth it anymore. And I don't think it's sustainable at all. Maybe if you have hundreds of acres, maybe you would have to have enough land that you don't need to buy feed. And like this year, um, I tried taking my girls that are in milk, and I cut, not in the beginning because the babies were really nursing a lot, but once they got probably about 5 weeks old, um, I cut the feed and the hay back drastically, almost to nothing, just a little tiny bit, because I wanted to see naturally what the dairy goats would put out eating as they naturally would in nature, right? Without having access to a lot of grain and a lot of hay and all these other things we use to keep milk production up. Milk production dropped to almost just enough for the babies, barely, and even they would like some more. Luckily, she was already starting to wean them at 5 or 6 weeks. Um, it isn't. It isn't. I mean, and I know farmers that have, you know, 50 acres, which to me is a lot. We have just under 15, not quite 15. And they're still buying tons of feed. I mean, their feed bill makes ours look like nothing. Some of them are buying feed by the truckload. So I think a question all of us need to ask ourselves is, how would your animals do if you didn't have access to the feed and seeds? If we didn't have the hay and the grains and the minerals, and I don't think milk, meat, and dairy would be such a thing. I think it would be more like, you remember back in the old days when meat and dairy was a luxury, bringing home the bacon. Honey can bring home the bacon, because it wasn't the norm to have meat and dairy constantly all the time. It just wasn't feasible. It wasn't practical. And I think, you know, if we didn't have access to the feed stores, it would be back at that again. But then I sit here and I think all this land that we have spent fencing, you know, all the fencing, all the water troughs, all the hay feeders, all the money on seed and planting these diverse paddocks to pasture rotate everybody in. You know how much food I could have grown with that money? I could have every nut tree, every fruit tree. I mean, just in the cost of the fencing, I would never have to buy an apple, a pear, a fig, ever, ever again, ever again. We could grow all of all of our food for a fraction of the cost. Literally a fraction of the cost. It blows my mind. And now in a way, I'm kind of just so pissed at myself that I bought into this, that I bought into the whole, let me spend thousands of dollars on this. And I thought it was going to feed the family, and it hasn't. It hasn't. I'm just going to be honest, y'all, it hasn't. If I still have to constantly go to the grocery store, then it isn't sustainable. I mean, yes, if we're going to be realistic, I don't care how off grid or how sustainable you are, you know, you're always going to be going to a grocery store for something. Um, we still all have to make money. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of questions. A lot of questions. So I'm going to film this whole journey, all of our journey. We still have more goats to sell. I just sold my one Alpine today to a great lady. I'm so excited. See, and I'm not saying people shouldn't. I think you should be able to do whatever you want with your land. This is just for us. For us. That's it. I just, it's just our story. We've decided we're just going to let our chickens die out naturally. You know, the goats we're getting rid of, and we're going to concentrate on growing our food because it's so much cheaper. So much cheaper, y'all. It's crazy how cheaper it is. Um, and that's probably why you see a ton of farmers switching over to produce. Come on, we know it's true. It's so much cheaper than raising animals, and it's a lot less stressful. I mean, and there's other things to consider too. You know, like we've in the almost 11 years we've been out here, y'all, we have been on vacation once. Once. You're not going on vacation with a whole bunch of animals. Who's going to watch your farm? Especially if you don't have friends or family that'll come and watch them or that can watch them. You know? No, especially off grid farm and they don't understand solar. They don't understand how your farm works. You are not going on vacation. Or let's say if there's a wedding or something like that, then y'all need to sit down and figure out which one of you is going because the family isn't going together because somebody's got to stay back and raise and take care of everything, right? Family isn't going together. And it's stressful. It's stressful when bugs get at a crop. Sure, it's stressful when a fungus gets at a crop. Sure, but you can replant. We've done it a whole lot. A whole lot. You can replant. You can adjust to it. Animals is a lot more stressful. A lot more stressful. Good Lord. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. That's all I know to say right now. I just don't think animals are sustainable. I don't think it's, in the end, I don't think it's actually worth it. I really don't. I don't. And, that's not even getting into like all the nitty gritty of it, the having to sell. You have to sell. You have to sell. Or you're going to end up with a bunch of inbreeding because you're going to have a whole bunch of brothers and sisters and too many boys. So you're selling or you're processing. It's one or the other. And you don't know who you're selling to, And then you've got the whole auction line and you've got animal flippers that just go around and buy animals up dirt cheap and run them through auctions to make a whole bunch of money off of them. And the whole thing is exhausting. It really is. It's exhausting. And I'm just over it. And really, if we ever need meat that bad, we can hunt, we can fish. We're not far from the ocean. If we ever need meat or fish that bad, you know. And I'm not anti eat meat. So eat all the meat you want, eat all the. Lord knows I love some pork, y'all. I love some bacon. And everybody always asked me why I wasn't going to get pigs. Well, pigs will destroy your property if you have too many of them. And getting into a butcher is hard. Most of our, that's a whole other thing people don't understand with the rise of homesteaders and so many people getting into this. Butchers are booked. Processing places, local processing places are booked years out. Years out. Yeah, good luck getting into one. I mean, yeah, we could figure out how to do it ourselves, but it also would be a hell of a lot cheaper and a hell of a lot easier for me to just grow mushrooms or to just forage mushrooms. And we have so many mushrooms that grow around here wild, you know, and those just do their things. I don't have to babysit them. I don't have to worry about their feed and fattening them up. And it, I just can't find an argument where meat or dairy is actually worth it in a farming aspect, unless it's something you're really just seriously passionate about and that's your calling. Then I get that. Yeah, I totally get that. But for me, no, I don't. I don't think it's worth it. That's just us. It's just my family. Well, no, we're gonna film it. We're gonna film it, and it's gonna be. I'm really, really, really looking forward to getting a lot of this weight off. I have, 2020. Everybody else was like finding their best self in lockdown. I was finding the best comfort food in lockdown, cooking the best comfort food in lockdown, and now definitely need to lose like 50, 60 pounds. Easy. So it's going to be great, you know? It's going to be a whole process going from heavy meat eaters to, you know, Zaxby's being my best friend. Still going to miss the hell out of Zaxby's. But, going to vegan. And I'm cool with it. I already feel so much better and not as tired. I don't have the brain fog I had. Um, so I can't wait. But I'm just going to film the whole thing. Good or bad. I suck at filming. I don't know how to film. I don't know how to edit. So I can't guarantee that they're going to be these beautiful, gorgeous videos. It's just going to be what it is, But I don't know. We shall see. I'm really excited to see what we can grow out here. And we have realized that we are growing near enough produce. So that part is really, really exciting to get started. Hi, baby. There he is. We're gonna keeping the two horses. We're keeping them. One, he's got Swedish. Nobody's gonna want him. Him and when his brother was alive, he passed away. We rescued them from, they were just going from auction to auction to auction. And the kill buyer bought them. And we were able to buy them off the kill buyer. Our other miniature we bought off a friend. And still have them to this day. But yeah, make videos, bring you all along on the adventure. Let's see how it goes. Alrighty, bye y'all.